Hello, my name is Emily from Supermom Crochet. Welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this quick and easy textured baby dress in the sizes 6 to 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months. It is what I consider a beginner pattern, so if you're just dipping your toes into making baby dresses, I think this is a great place to start. The stitch used is just a 1-row repeat, so it gives this beautiful texture that catches the eye, but it's really, really easy to make. I used Lion Brand Kobu yarn. It is a sport weight yarn. I used the color mauve, and it is 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo. So it makes a really beautiful fabric with sheen and drape. And it's just awesome for warm weather clothes. This could be an Easter dress or just a summertime dress for a little girl in your life. So in this video, I'll show you how to start at the neckline and work the bodice, separate the armholes, and then work the skirt. And then I will link the tutorial at the end for how to finish the neckline, add the buttonholes, sew on the buttons, and then finish the sleeves. All right, so for the 6 to 9 month size, I've got an E hook or a 3.5 millimeter hook. For the 12-month size, I've got an F hook or a 3.75 millimeter hook. And for the 18-month size, I've got a G hook or a 4 millimeter hook. I will be making the 6 to 9 month size, so I've got my E hook. All right, to start, we're going to make a slip knot. How I do that is I drape the shorter tail over the longer working yarn, coming from the top, and draw up a loop from the longer yarn and pull it tight. Now we're going to chain 70. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 chains. Okay, to start row number 1, we're going to half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. And then put 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 chains, for a total of 8 half double crochets. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right. In the next chain, half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet again in that same chain. Okay. Moving on, put 1 half double crochet in each of the next 16 chains. We're now shaping the neckline. All right, let's check, see how many we have. 15, so we need 1 more to make 16. All right, again in the next chain, half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet again in that same chain. Right? Now once again, make 1 half double crochet in each of the next 16 chains. One downside to working with bamboo yarn is that it does split a lot. But if you have a hook with a pointy tip, I find that it works a lot better. I use the Clover Amour hooks, and I think it glides through pretty easily. I've tried other hooks, and they split the yarn like every stitch. So if you're struggling with working with this yarn, I definitely recommend finding a hook with a pointed tip. Just might be helpful. All right. So once again, half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet in that same chain again. And now one more time, make 1 half double crochet in each of the next 16 chains. All right. Again, one more time. Half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in that next chain. And to finish the row, make 1 half double crochet in each of the last 8 chains. All right. So just show you how this neckline is shaping up. All right, so this is the front of the dress, this is the shoulders, and this is the back. So that's the very top of the neckline. Moving on to row 2, we're going to start our pattern stitch. So chain 1, turn, working in this first section, the first stitch, single crochet, and double crochet in that same stitch. Skip the next stitch, single crochet, double crochet, skip 1 stitch, single crochet, double crochet. That's our pattern. So again, skip 1 stitch, working into the next one, single crochet, double crochet, skip 1, and work into that last half double crochet right before the chain 2 space. With a single crochet and double crochet. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of our pattern stitch. Now working into the chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, all in that chain 2 space. Carrying on, in that first stitch, single crochet, double crochet, skip 1, and just repeat that all the way to the next chain 2 space. Really super easy. It looks really pretty. All right. Just a couple more. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of stitches in that section. Now to keep in pattern, we're going to skip that last half double crochet and then work into the chain 2 space with a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then work into that first stitch right after that chain 2 space with our pattern of single crochet, double crochet, skip 1, continue that across. So in the first section and the last section, we'll have 5 pairs, and in the middle 3 sections, we'll have 9 pairs. One more. And again, to keep in our pattern, we're going to skip that last stitch before the chain 2 space and work into that chain 2 space with a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Work into the first stitch right after the chain 2 space and continue in our pattern. Super simple, super easy. Just as before. Skip that last stitch, work into the chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and now work in that first stitch, work in pattern all the way to the end. All right, and then don't forget that last one and that first beginning half double crochet we made, beginning of row 1. All right, we're going to chain 1 and turn. So that's how row 2 looks. See that stitch? So beautiful. Moving on to row 3. We've chained 1, we turned. Now we're going to skip the double crochet and work into the single crochet. So skip the double crochet and work single crochet, double crochet in the single crochet. Again, skip the double crochet, work into the single crochet, double crochet, skip the double crochet, work into the single crochet, just continue that up to the chain 2 space. Nice and easy. Right? So to keep in our pattern, we're going to skip that first double crochet of the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then work into the chain 2 space with a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. But we are not going to skip the second double crochet. So we're going to work in to the double crochet right after the chain 2 space. And that's how we're going to increase our rows. And then just continue on with the pattern in every single crochet. And that's it. So when you come to the previous rows, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, skip the first double crochet, just keep in pattern, because if you work into the first double crochet, you'll add way too many stitches and the neckline will not look right. I had to figure that out the hard way when I was writing this pattern. It looks really funny if you work into that stitch, so skip that one. Okay, So like I said, skip that double crochet, work into the chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and work into that first double crochet. And continue in pattern across. Once again, skip that double crochet, but work into that second one. Finish that to the end. All right, so this is how the end of row 3 looks. So rows 4 through 10 are actually a repeat of row 3. So everything you did in row 3, just repeat that through rows 4 through 10. Just exactly the same. And I'll meet you there. All right, so this is how the bodice looks at the end of row 10. When we can count, skip that first hole right there. That's just the chains at the beginning. Going into the half double crochets, we can count up 10 rows. So I keep track. That's how the bodice looks. You can fold it down to see. That's the front of the dress. And then there's the back. So moving on to row 11. Going to chain 1 and turn. Now in this row, we're going to separate the dress. We're going to separate it into the armholes. So how to do that, just work in your pattern as normal. Up into the first chain 2 space. So just continue in your pattern like every other row until you get to that first chain 2 space. Then it's gonna get different. I really do love this stitch. Every time I use it and I put it in a video, I say how much I love it. I just do. It's so easy. Like pretty stitches don't have to be complicated, and I really appreciate that. You can do a pretty complicated stitch, but why? Keep it simple. At least I think so. But anyway, coming up to that chain 2 space. All right, skip that double crochet into the chain 2 space, and now chain 4, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to skip all of these stitches rather, to the next chain 2 space and double crochet into that chain 2 space. And there we have our first armhole. Right? Now work into that double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, just like before. I'm working our pattern all the way to the next chain 2 space, where we will make the second armhole. Kind of intimidating, but once you do it, it's really easy. Not that bad. Okay. All right, coming up on that next chain 2 space. Now, as always, we're going to skip that first double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 4, and you want to make sure these chains aren't too tight. Skip all those stitches and double crochet in the next chain 2 space to connect for the second armhole. Ta-da! All right. Working that double crochet and just continue in the pattern till the end of the row. And that's it. All right. Chain 1. That's how it looks. You can now open and close the back. Made a little bodice. All right. So you've chained 1, we're going to turn. And now we're just going to work in our pattern in every stitch and chain space to the end. So to do that, again, just work in your pattern across. I'll just show you how to go into those chain spaces. Pretty straightforward. Again, I think if you've never made a crochet dress before, it can be pretty intimidating. I know I was really intimidated the first time I did it, but following a tutorial just like this, it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Okay. All right, so we're just going to keep in our pattern. So really the chains don't change anything. So just always skip 1. So we're going to skip that double crochet and work into the first chain, just like it was another stitch. Single crochet, double crochet in the chain, skip the next chain, and work into the third chain. Single crochet, double crochet. Skip the last chain and work into that double crochet. Single crochet, double crochet. And that's how it looks. And then just continue on in the pattern across the front of the bodice. Onto the other side. And I just think making these little dresses so much fun. I like seeing them come together. And if you've seen my channel, you can tell that I really like making dresses because that's just kind of what I do. Just like seeing the stitches come together and the little skirt grow out. And just imagine a little girl wearing them. Pretty cool. The hook really does make so much of a difference. If you had a blunt tip on your hook, you would be struggling, or at least I was. Like I was just using like a boy hook, and it had a rounded tip, and I didn't think I'd be able to use this yarn. All right. So coming to the next armhole, again, skip that double crochet, work into the first chain. As usual, the single crochet and the double crochet. Skip the second chain, work into the third chain, single crochet, double crochet, skip the last chain, and work in that double crochet. And that's how the second armhole looks. Just continue in pattern till the end of the row. Okay, so that is how the end of that row looks. All right, moving on, we're going to join the two sides together to start working on the skirt. To do that, you did not chain at the end of the last row. Don't chain one. And just go across and slip stitch in that first single crochet. Just like that. Okay. Now chain one, turn. Now to begin the skirt, we're going to single crochet in that same stitch, double crochet in that same stitch. The same stitch as the chain one, I should say. Okay. Now we're going to work in every stitch in this row to build out our skirt. So work in that double crochet. So single crochet, double crochet, then work in the single crochet, and then work in the next double crochet. So basically we're not skipping every other stitch this row. So we want to make increases all around the first row of our skirt to give it body and fullness. I'm just going to continue that around, ending with a slip stitch in the beginning single crochet. All right, so this is how the first row of the skirt looks. I've joined with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain one, turn. Now we're going to single crochet in that same stitch as the chain one, double crochet in that same stitch. And now we're going to go back to normal. So skip the double crochet, work our pattern in the single crochet, and again, skip the double crochet. So we've gone back to normal. We're skipping all the double crochets, going into the single crochets. We can continue that. That is our pattern for the skirt. So all the way around and with a slip stitch in the beginning single crochet. For the 6 to 9 month size, you want to repeat for 40 rows. For the 12-month size, 48 rows. For 18 months, 54 rows. So repeat that row as many times for the size that you're making or the length that you want, but those rows are for a full length skirt. All right, so I've completed my 40 rows for the 6 to 9 month size. That's how the skirt looks. It's got a nice volume to it. It's not overly full, but it's just a nice little skirt. Now all that's left is to follow the tutorial to finish the neckline, add the buttons, and finish the sleeves. Thank you so much for watching. Now please see the finishing tutorial to finish up your dress.